Oh. All right, so we wanted to do a few things. We want to download this, and we want to download this here. Electro. And where did you use This has almost has good topology there. Or I guess this is, he was saying this was the retopo flow result. So were they rebaked from this? It's not bad. Not quite sure what this is. A carrot? A spoon? Instant mesh. All right. Interesting. And we can download a model. Oh, hello, Arctic. Hello, Snardom. Okay, we'll try that later. And I wanted to check out kind of curious for a tankard if I could make something quite fast by we could do it this way. Where are we? Man, I love this multi-res workflow. Lurking a bit. Oh, hello, Wendy. Welcome. Multi-res is so good. It's so good. Holy moly. There we go. Sort of. I wanted to try a little bit more with this big one here. Because what I can do is make a circle of 8. Extrude that just like we did a second ago, but then take each edge. Honestly, the low poly tankard looks neat on its own. Very true. Very true. I messed up. Cat farts, BRB, passing out with boys and cats. The dangerous times we live in. God damn it, I missed it again. There. Huh. All right, that's not quite what I want, but quick experiment. How do I get to the end as quickly as possible? Excuse me. Okay. Stats wise, I suppose this isn't too bad. I think these will be great placeholders. We could probably just bring those in directly into the Resonite scene. Yeah. I just need to resize it. So this is 6 feet tall. It seems to be the right size. All right, we'll come back to that. Now I'd like to make a new file, or close this one, and we'll go to Arctic's new creatures. UV unwrapped. Bake the texture, normal from high poly to low poly. Done. Okay, gotcha. Ooh, wow. Oh, I like it. We got an arbitrary. Oh, interesting. So that means this has some shape keys then? Okay, so. Oh, snap. All the doors open? Wow. Nuts. Amazing. Very satisfying. Hmm. Are there or four tongues? Wow. So in here, on these ones, we actually can go ahead and say armature, names, auto name, left, right. So I'm going to do that for both of them. For now, I'd have to still have to rename them. Yeah, that's okay. How satisfying. Another way you could do the tongue, I'm going to go ahead and save. Copy here. Welcome back, Sky. But another way you could save the tongue is to do the tongue out. And we can say, copy the current results shape to another select one. This one, transfer. I just want to apply it. I think that does it there. Apply, mirror, join. Just apply this one shape key, please. Well, another way you could do it, it would have just been to shrink these down, shrink your tongue down, and then that way you can adjust your tongue, and then they could zoom out. Okay. We need to make some swords and bows. And for our goblin themes. So we're going to wrap these up as quickly as we can and move on. I would really like to get in Resonite soon. It's been too long since I was last in there. I'll be lurking for the next hour. Okay, exciting. Well, let me know if you need any help with anything. Thanks again for putting together the chest. I'm looking forward to slapping that on Gumroad and seeing people's response to it. It's all right. Hello, Golden. Welcome. Workout and food, and then I'll get back. Hey, no rush at all. No rush at all. Back here because my YouTube is still being weird. And that is strange because I was able to get other people to respond and stuff on Twitch later, so you're like shadow banned or something. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Yep, like a handmade iron sword. Just had the best English breakfast I've ever had. Oh, a cheeseburger? Or is it the weird beans on toast? Oh. Like I said, I've been playing it by ear when it came to the mimics, which is why I ended up with mixing up the methods by accident. There's no accident there. So it's just it's still amazing. Still amazing. And people say English food is bland. Beans on toast, that was my first thought as well. Beans on toast. I mean, I do like beans on toast. So back from break. Are you working on the goblin outfit right now? Yes, we're trying to make some weapons really quick. Beans with molasses. Nah, hash brown, sausage, eggs, toast, beans, blood pudding too, if you're old. I'd say I'm a fan of blood pudding. But all the rest of that sounds quite delicious. Tony Stark made this in a cave. I don't want it to look organic. I just want it to look beat up. Really, really roughly hewn. The old people gave us bad names. They have such weird ass tastes. Old people don't taste that weird. Speaking of mimics, are you making any for D&D? Arctic is totally knocking it out of the park right now, making some mimics. So we're just looking at this chest mimic that Arctic made. And it's pretty awesome. So I can like open up. We've got Arctic's made a barrel mimic. And now a chest mimic. Erwin, what do you say about old people? Nothing. Good, I'll never open barrels again. Let's say like a bunch of rust has built up on the tip here. Scraggly shapes. Man, I love sculpting. It's so fun. It's like the best. Like drawing, but better. I love drawing. It's not drawing. Just when you modify the edges like that, it also affects the levels below in the viewport. Correct. Yes. Have you watched Free Run? Pretty popular anime right now. I've seen a bunch of gifs from it, but I have not watched it myself. Not yet. I think I would like to. But yes. So right now I have, if I turn off the multi-res, you can see the base shape here. But I have not applied my higher shape to the base. So let's see what that looks like now. Very different. But most likely I would export this object on like a level 1 or probably a level 2. So it'd look like this. And it's only 880 triangles. That's why I love multi-res. Because you can just kind of get nuts with it. Like some rust is building up. And I'd love some more scratches. This might work. Okay, cool. Sword's done. Sort of. I would also like to add a plane. Shrink that down. Sorry if I get asked too much. Which drawing tablet are you using? Think about getting one. Not too sure if getting used to it is worth it. I love drawing with a tablet for like sculpting and stuff. Generally, I'm using my mouse though. And no, I don't mind you asking. This is a Gaomon, Gaomon. Um, there's a lot of drawing tablets out there these days. And frankly, the only one I would recommend not getting is anything by Wacom. um, I, I've been burnt a few times by Wacom, and I find that their drivers are basically always just garbage. So that's my recommendation. Have an XP pen. It was very cheap for the quality. I've heard good things about XP. I'm not worried about these. Because this is just going to get baked in. Did somebody say XP? Put on XP pen shill hat. I guess you would be a fan then of XP pens. torn on whether or not I want to include these or not. I feel like no. I feel like no, I don't. Just want to bake them in. Yeah. Just want to bake them in. Cool. All right, let's do the same for this one. Add a multi-res. Actually, I'm going to cut this, take the edges, cut the bottom ones, and collapse them. Did you put the weapons in the same blend file as the monsters? Is it for having good ratios? Right now I do have, these are not the main files. These are actually linked assets. So technically the ogre and the goblin do not exist in these files. We just have like a linked copy of them. And that's why you can see that they have this weird symbol right here, a little chain with an arrow through it. But yes, I like keeping them in the scene just so I can get good sizing and stuff. So usually I just go from the front perspective and I'm like, oh, that looks roughly the right size. No, I don't think they'd. Doesn't slow your PC down. It's still loading it. I just can't make edits to them. So in a sense, it's faster, but yeah, just a little nuance there. A little nuance. Multi-res, simple, subdivide, simple. Boom. Okay. And then we'll do mirror on both. But it's great. I use that a lot for when I'm like doing thumbnails or rendering images, things where I like knowing what the actual home of a file is. I just don't want to split my files in between a bunch of stuff, or I have a little bit of one over here and a little bit of one over there. That just gets confusing. This one I want to make look like obsidian, I think. Obsidian. Right. Yeah, definitely give it a shot. It's a Voronoi material and then just very wavy edges. Sometimes use it, but I'm also a big fan of putting everything everywhere twice, thinking I'll clean this up later. Just how I love the idea of the asset library, but not actually make use of it for Matt's poses / everything. There's a lot of things you could use out there, but then there's a lot to be said for what actually feels comfortable working with when you're working with it. Okay. Subdivide it twice more. So we can go in for those extra sharp little details. Cool. Obsidian knife. Obsidian knife. Dagger. Actually a spiral. I don't want to try making a spiral. Whoa, that's the wrong thing. Curly curve. How much resources do normal maps take? I wonder if there are use cases where it's better to actually not use normals and paint the details onto the base color, maybe for mobile games. You're 100% on the money there. Mobile games generally do not use normal maps. It really just depends on a lot of different things. But generally, the simpler your game, the less you want to use. That being said, in most AAA games, like everything you're looking at has its own normal map. It's all its own set of PBR textures, physically based rendering textures. I think they're not too bad, but I can't say that for sure. VRC questies don't have this privilege. Let's get rid of the extrude. And I'd rather turn this down here. Go ahead and mesh it. Extrude it up. Right about there. Take our back edges. And add a subdivision. Shrink wrap. Solidify. Interesting. Definitely need to keep that in mind when thinking about platforms to develop on. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's most of performance is just going, you basically choose, this is my ideal user. And this is the hardware they have. And then you design around that hardware. In general, these days, like with the indie games and stuff like that, it's like with the indie games, a lot of people, most people can run Unreal Engine, and so it's like you could probably not be shooting for optimization and still make a game that a ton of people play. That will work. Awesome. So now, final one, the bow will mesh. I'm going to take each of the loops here. And hit it with the circle. Relax. And then circle. Then we'll add that multi-res. Simple, subdivide, subdivide, and now we've got a little bow. Let's maybe low-end hardware in mind, like Android, iOS, Chromebooks. I don't think your average UE4 or UE5 will run. You use Unreal, for example, in target mobile, you'll still need to think about optimization. While it has some tools to reduce your work on you, it won't magically make 20 terabytes fast. It's run at 60 FPS. As the person on YouTube said. People still use Intel UHD graphics as their daily GPU. Was like, are those gamers that use those? I mean, not that I disagree with what you're saying, though. I think you are 100% correct. My thought was just that oh, sorry. In general, you probably don't have to worry about optimization. Most of the time, you're not going to be making a game that's that detailed. Hello, Namers. Good morning. Welcome. We're finishing up our weapons here. I guess we're just going to give it a wood texture and kind of call it a day on this one. How about the average Joe gamers are most likely to get some low-end gaming rig or something better? Those gamers. Those I don't know why I wasted this much time making assets. You all had made some already. I guess because I want to put some of these in a gumroad. It's kind of my main thought. Get them in a gumroad. Get them in a gumroad. Oh, no, no. Watch these gaming tech reviewers talk about all kinds of graphics cards. Ironically, what you're saying is right because people are still using high GPUs from almost 10 years ago because they still good. I think Nvidia is pretty lucky that AI got all hyped to hell because yeah, most like the average consumer doesn't really need that intensive hardware anymore. Then all of a sudden, AI rolls up and Nvidia's like, oh, thank God someone needs our GPUs. You can prime my 2070 from my cold dead fingers, shakes fists. Yeah, I got a 2060. I really do want to upgrade so badly. But then it's like, man, it's so expensive. It's just so expensive. Someone give me $1 million bajillion. I used to buy cards more often until Nvidia thought $64 billion profit in a single year was a bit too shallow. It's all about growth. We can't stay in the same spot. We can't make the same giant mountain of money every year. I got a 1660 Ti in my laptop. I'm mad that I'm cut out using features like DLSS. Taking out the ray tracing I'm fine with, but man, they took out a lot of stuff. Those college kids took all the RTX variants. Now, by the time I can afford a new card, I might as well buy a whole new rig these days. I mean, that's generally the only time I get a new graphics card now. It's like, okay, well, throw everything out, get a brand new everything. Consumerism. I'll just put it right there. All right. Now we just need a string. Give me the string. This is what I think really is saving me the most time when it comes to using multi-res is like the UV mapping is now probably the fastest part. Whereas in general, it used to like like what I just did there. If I went my old method of retopology and UV mapping, that would have been a day. That would have been a whole day to do what I just did. I'm liking these speed ups. I'm liking them a lot. Terrible packing. Terrible packing. Turn up the margin a little. Back again. We'll leave a little room. I might need a... Who knows, maybe I'll need more stuff later. So, and then just keep it as is. All right. Now, go ahead and set our multi-res to 2 for everything. Fairly new to UV Packmaster. Can you show me your 2 or 3 most used features? I am only using it for heuristic search. So there's a few things that I mainly use. First is I usually set the precision up pretty high and then make my margins a little bit bigger. So 0.01 or 1000. I leave rotation on, but I make sure to turn on island rotation step because that way, when it does move things around, I can set the rotation step so it only rotates 90 degrees. Very useful. A lot of the times I'll also put on heuristic search, which just like makes it try to search a whole bunch more rather than just doing one pack. I just do max 90 degrees. Yes, because I almost always make everything boxes. So I want it to maintain that 90 degree, all the 90 degree angles. Another really useful one is this lock groups here. So like, for example, if I really liked how these two were set up next to each other, I could add these to their own lock group, and that way they will stick together when things are, or like this could be a separate group, this could be one group. So the lock groups are really good. Other than that, other than that, the only other thing I really use is the custom target box, which is very useful if like you've already have something, already have a lot of things mapped. That way you can say edit target box and then move your, like, okay, I only want to pack stuff in this area. Very useful for that. yeah, those are kind of the general. That's like kind of the general overview. There's nothing more, um, too much more that I use for that. I also have another add-on installed called UV Toolkit, which is free. I believe this is it, or maybe it's this one. I think it is the same guy. I'll paste both of them, but that one has in the UV toolkit, it has a bunch of fun stuff, but really all that I use from that is the straighten function, which lays things out in a grid as long as it's a perfect quad mesh. Might mess up every now and then. And then there's this great one where if you have a selection, you can use distribute. So that's in here somewhere. Distribute. It's super nice. Bam, distribute. Preserve length. I don't know what that does, but anyway, good stuff. Okay, so now look at the wireframes. Use a plugin called Text Tools. It does the same thing. Okay, heck yeah. Text Tools. Move up one. To Substance Painter. Goblin Weapons. I was just about to make another folder. I don't need another folder. I just need to paste these. Or export them. Then we'll set everything back to max resolution. Select everything. And put in the high poly. And let's see how this went. Hey, Lectra donated $10. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the donation, Lectra. Super appreciate it. Let me, I need to zoom in on my OBS. Whenever there's an alert, the text is like microscopic. Let me open up Streamlabs. Thanks for the UV tutorial. Absolutely, absolutely. Happy to help. And I appreciate the donation. Thank you. Yeah, I love using the multi-res now because like it took me a while to figure out doing UVs correctly, and now not only do I know how to do them correctly, but also it's much simpler with the multi-resolution. A lot of times UV mapping is just like getting rid of vertices. Like I don't want to deal with those. I actually don't want to work on those. NPCs, goblins, we'll do Substance Painter, Goblin Weapons. Copy, paste, bam, bam, open, save, boom, Gobbo, Weapono, bam. Then mode, bake, select, high poly. Everything should fit. But we might make a cage anyway. Let's see what it looks like first. I'm missing an arrow. Weird question. Are templates in Substance feature or a recent feature, or they've been there? I'm using version 8.30. I have a collection of templates that I've just made, these template folders. Yeah, there are no templates. These are all just ones that I've made myself. Dark face. A dark face. And then template flat. Say club. Those are, I do talk. I do. I think I kind of talk about them in a way like they do come with substance. But yes, I have made these. I don't mean to misdirect, but I do. I think I do talk about it like that. Curvature. Curvature. Will you use the spell book you have on Gumroad for the D&D? Absolutely. I will be using that eventually. Um, it's funny because almost all the assets that I've made kind of have like a D&D theme behind them. Anyway, didn't really mean for it to happen like that. It just happened. Okay. Do another curvature. This will be the highlight. Club, curve, highlight. Make it much brighter. Then punch it out. Curvature again. Turn up that contrast. And then hit it with that fill noise. Set to subtract. Then we'll also add a filter, blur, linear dodge. It's kind of faded out softly. little bit of height. More like sandstone right now. Gonna head off. Time to get some food. Have a nice rest of your day. All sounds good, Arctic. Thank you again for the mimic. Looking forward to getting that in. And again, we're gonna do a D&D session this Friday. So everyone, if you're looking forward to that, we're gonna play in the afternoon. So we'll try to get a little campaign going. Another little combat test. There's 2 in that file, by the way. Not sure if you looked at the other one. I did not. So I'll have to take a look. Take a little look-see. Can't say I really enjoy how this is looking. I think it's not as compelling as I'd like it to be. I think it's got some damage now. Looks beat to hell. Good. We'll leave that there. Club looks club. Maybe a little bit of moss would be kind of fun. Just a little moss. And lastly, add an anchor point above the moss. We'll call this shadow. Add in the fill with the anchor point with the moss. And then on top of that, a filter. Inverse. Maybe a little too mossy. Sure. Okay, let's do the next one. The sword. And we'll drop in an iron. Forged. Iron old. Make it nice and dark. Where's the color? I guess we'll just do a fill on top of this. Set to multiply. And we'll just bring down color. In a major baking error right here. Is no good. And we'll drop on top of this another template. Substance baking things so much easier, OMG. I do prefer it. It makes it easy to grab the things you want. Natural. 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 Grungy. Now, hear me out, and don't let your GPU hear it, I guess. Not sure, but what if we could vertex paint multi-res? I mean, we can, but not on the multi-res levels. I'd be down. I'd be 100% down. We'll fix the straps there in a second. I wonder if I have an obsidian texture. How about on substance source? Ah, easy. I'll actually duplicate it, set this one to 20, and then add a mask. And we can paint it back in on the edges. Doesn't get any easier than that. I want an obsidian dagger. Perfect. The dagger is one material. Don't really have anything else to add to that. We're doing it, y'all. Weapons. Weapons! But now we need to go back here for the high poly. And what we really need to do is just add a different material to these straps. We'll do a bright red. Food. Food. Dark Souls 1 vibes? Yes, very much so. Let's see that. They could have 4K this time. Save. Do I like food? Yes, I love food. It still didn't bake an ID map. Question of the day. These should have come out as a separate material. In fact, they shouldn't be red at all. Let me go here. We'll select everything, copy it, save. And then I'm going to invert this selection. Give this a new material. Called Goblin Weapons. Back for my long lurk. What did I miss? Everything. There is nothing that was not missed. Actually, this is fine for the bake. Is there we go. There we go. All right, now that we've done that, we're actually able to extract the straps out. This will go into the sword. Sword straps. And then this one will go into the dagger. Dagger straps. Boom. Okay, and on both of these, we want to go to height, place, and then of course turn on height for both of them. I'm back too. Well, good. The return. Metal. What is a motorcycle made of? Tubes. Tubes. Ground substance. Wait, how did you target the selection on the handle? So easy. I was struggling with that the other day. So when you export your high poly mesh, if you have a material, you need to have on your high poly object a material. And that material needs a distinct color. So I've given them this red material for the straps, and then a blue material for everything else. But yes, it is fantastic. And then once you do that, when you grab a selection of material, you can just drag it out and hold Control. I think. Yes, Control. And it'll show you. So it's a pixel mask instead of a other mask, but it's great. I love it. It really makes such a huge difference. But hello, JW. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's an amazing feature that I wouldn't have known existed if it wasn't Sam's brain. Take it. Take my brain. It is a good one. It is a very good one. I'm going to copy this and put it on the sword straps as well. In fact, we'll probably just use the same leather too. Yeah, they're using the same materials, so. All right, there we go. Weapons textured. I think they look nice and simple and weathered. Weathered. We're gonna add one final thing. Another curvature. This time I want to go after the highlights. It's not going to quite work. That's okay. Alrighty. And let's export those. Ooh. Excuse me. Oh, thank you. Folder organization is perfection. I still feel like I'm like almost perfect with my organization there. Still left a lot to be desired though. Ah, balls. Should have moved everything until I set this to 2. Copied, and then we mesh them. Find these. I'll just throw all my stuff in a folder that's called Blender Renders, and they stay there collecting dust. Well, at least you know they're all in one folder. Compared to some folder organizations I've seen, that's already still a very impressive advantage. All right, weapons created. I should make an arrow. I should make an arrow. Yeah, I should make an arrow. Let me go back to our painting version. I'm going to do Shift A, cube. And we'll just steal this cube. Sorry, it's already unwrapped. Something like this. Then we'll make a plane. Arrow from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What do arrow tips look like? We're going to make an obsidian arrowhead. Do the classic. We're going to add a solidify. Solidify, thank you. You can tell it's getting late in the day because I'm misclicking. Misclicking. I hate it. I hate that. Just let me click. All right. Then we'll grab the edges, collapse them. Take these points, move them down. All right, got a little arrowhead. And can you imagine getting shot with that? Ouch. All right, I gotta catch some sleep now. Leave me some feedback in Discord for the food props so I know exactly what we are looking for. What time is it for you? Right now it is 4 p.m. Sounds good, Lectro. Definitely get some good sleep. You're heading the right direction. They'll be good. The AI ones will be good placeholders. So I would say just go crazy and make like a whole, like a cornucopia of food items. But yeah, I'll message you. I'll message you. So no worries on that. What time is it for you? Oh, I already read that. I already read. Oh. Add a multi-res to this. Simple subdivide. And we're going to go in with some sculpting. Boom. Anyone here play Contractors? I've talked about it a few times, but I can't remember if anyone else plays. I was playing that last night and I was having so much fun. Probably play a little bit more today. Could get some modular tiles started tonight. Ooh, that'd be good. Yeah, if you want to do like floorboards, I would say don't worry about baking them or even UV unwrapping them yet. Just make like super simple box versions to start with. Things that would be good to add multi-res on top of. Have I played Content Morning? I have not. No. Is that a VRC game? Yeah, because if we do low poly, if we ever want to make a high poly version of it, we're just going to use the multi-res. So we'll just always start low poly for now. Low poly to test, and then multi-res to finish it. Pretty popular game right now. I don't believe you. Is that the one where it's like a Lethal Company like, and they have like a post-it notes for faces? And there's like a little camcorder that they have. But YouTubers sitting, gotcha. I think I have seen that then. I was watching Lobos Jr. play it. It seemed fun. I feel like at some point I really should actually just play games on stream. What a concept, I know, but no one's ever thought of that before, but I'm thinking that maybe I should at some point. I'm the first person to think of playing games on stream, but might really have something there. pew. Pew, 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 pew. Something right about there? I think so. Actually, why not just keep it one object? And that all looks quite good. I would love more detail. Oh, it gets so crunchy. That's what I wanted, right? Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure. And then here, I'm actually going to go ahead and apply the multi-res. Going to subdivide it a few more times, then apply it. Then we're going to do a selection like this. I can do select next. What is it again? There's like a select next option. Select more next active. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll say edge loops and O Alt S. Like this. So we'll do that, and then put the multi-res back on, unsubdivide, unsubdivide. I could keep going, but it's good. Cool. And for the feathers, I'm just going to get a texture somewhere. All right. So now, this will be our high poly. Select this, copy to selected, FBX, Goblin Weapons, high poly, substitute to be 2, bam. Save. And then set this back down to 2. See how that goes. I did not unwrap any of this, of the arrow. I did not unwrap it, so that would be good to add. Hmm. All right, one down. And this thing here. Awesome. Go. Easy peasy. Go ahead, drop these down. I knew I should have left room. It's like, I bet we'll fill this up. I was right. All right. Now we export again. Refresh. Oh, Can't wait to see these in action. Yes. Yes! I'm pumped. I am pumped. That is an excellent bake. It says that. Perfect. I'm just going to duplicate the bow. I'll add arrow. Reset the mask. And there we go. Then we'll take our obsidian. Ominous obsidian. And this goes here. It's a little weird. The obsidian or my normals? I guess it's my normals. We go back and smooth that out a little. Good enough for now, though. In fact, I would like to tile this quite a few times. Some even better variation on there. Beautiful. Then this will be the feather. Feather. As it's now. The feather. Oh, perfect. I already got a feather alpha. So we'll just take our template, drop it here. Call this one. And I guess we'll set it to planar projection. Bro is locked in. Hey, oh, hello, Cable. Cable. Bam. Just made a feather. Look at that. How the heck do you do this? I tried to paint eyes on a faceplate in front of the face of my model, and I couldn't get transparency to work at all. It can get tricky, especially if you have a transparent material in front of in front of or behind another transparent material. It can look a little weird. Try to paint eyes on the faceplate in front of my face model. Couldn't get transparency to work at all. Was it not working in Substance, or was it not working in Unity? Even using alpha test shader, and it just wouldn't work like was shown in videos. So it wasn't working in either of them? Hmm. Well, you're welcome to send it to me for me to take a look. But my guess would be that you did not have opacity enabled. Wouldn't export a transparent image. Gotcha. Then that comes down to what you have in your export templates, your output templates. So all these little input maps here, you can combine in custom ways. Um, so it may not have the template you are using may not have had the transparency in the right spot. But I'd be happy to take a look to see what's going on there. Okay. What's the models for a game? These are for we've been doing D&D in Resonate, or it's like a VR social platform. And I've made these models for using that. So we got some weapons, and these weapons go with our characters over here. They've made these goblins and ogres. Ogres. I don't think it was turning transparent in the viewport because it just stayed as a checkered background, despite having the opacity set up in the videos I watched. Yeah, so we made these guys from scratch. Here's an ogre. We just finished all the armor and stuff this morning. There's my goblin, a little gobbo. Got little fingernails on him. We did a lot of little things today for him. They're looking pretty spiffy now. Pretty complete. And so yeah, we're just texturing these weapons. We're gonna get them wrapped up too. Actually, if you're seeing the checkerboard pattern, you may not have been in material view. You may have been in base color view. Awesome. Thank you, Kaible. Thank you. If you're in base color, see, base color doesn't show the transparency here. But if I switch back to the material view, then I can see that it's transparent. If you were seeing a checkerboard pattern, my guess is you are either in one of these single channel views or somehow your channel had been removed here. My guess is it's your viewport display. Especially if you're working in like a stylized character, like a flat toon shade character, it may just actually look very, very similar to the final result. So it gets a little ambiguous. Can I have opacity built into the base color on export? Yes. So for any image, all images have channels, and they can have multiple channels. So red, green, blue, alpha, RGBA, that's 4 channels. And in the output templates here, you can choose what goes in these channels. So for example, in my, let's go to one I use regularly. In this Poyomi one that I've made, we have the albedo transparency. And so this takes the RGB, 3 channels for color, from our base color right here. You can see the base color goes there. And then we take the opacity and we inject it into the alpha channel. So you can actually combine, you can export any type of image you want from Substance Painter And these are the little pieces that you stick into these channels. So, for example, I have a completely custom set of channels here, these user ones, and those I use for my masks. You can see that they're just filling in there. I could also inject them into one of these others. Like some developers use metallic, smoothness, and other things all into one there. I think you fixed my problem and explained it better than any videos I watched. Well, good. It's a tough. It's a little tough to explain from nothing if we're in it and working with it, but it is a kind of a weird. This bow has too much resolution. I think the way you explain this is so good because I don't know much, if none at all. Well, thank you. I'm happy to teach. So, Kaible, for my goal here on the channel is to do D&D in VR or role playing in VR. So I'm trying to get people making things, and I will teach you how to make things, and we'll even sell things together if you'd like. We said the same thing. But absolutely, stick around if you're interested in learning this stuff, because I do this every day. Plugs ears. Blender's all I need. I don't need Adobe. Cries inside. For context, I'm working on a low poly model with drawn face expressions for Switch. Okay, heck yeah. Thanks, Senpai. Absolutely. Well, that's super cool. There's a really cool feature in the Poyomi shader called Flipbook. And that's very useful. You can basically create like a flipbook of images and swap them out like a decal. But it's called Flipbook in Poyomi. Now it's really very useful for exactly that kind of the thing you're describing. And it makes them all into one texture. In Unity's in the eyes of Unity, yes. It is just one file. It takes a bunch of files and compacts them into one texture file. I think it's still technically a bunch of images, but it's very nice. But definitely, if you are setting that up, let me know. It's cool to get it working right. It's cool. All right, what am I doing? I'm exporting the textures. I think I just did that. We're going to take the arrow here, copy it, go back to our main version, paste this here, copy the textures, mesh this, combine it into arrow. I have a weird question, but do you animate? Because I have this song that I wanted a music video for, but I didn't want it to be a live IRL video. I don't do much animation personally, and if I was going to do any animation, I would probably go into VR chat or Resonite and just use VR as like a machinima, if you're familiar with that. There are a lot of people making a lot of music videos in VR chat. If you're interested in checking that out, I would recommend searching VR chat music video. I wanted to try and use your eye rig that I bought, to make the eyes move flat with the image texture, but I don't think my brain is big enough to figure it out yet. Your tutorial vid went right over my head. I'll have to simplify it. I think it should be very easy, and it'll be even easier if I get VRC Fury working properly. So when you are attempting to put that together, let me know. I'd be happy to make sure you're getting what you're looking for. Because you should. I mean, it's you bought it. Should work right. It should work right. How do you spell that? So for the VR chat music video, let me go ahead. Oh, sorry. Machinima is the name of sorry, I'm missing an M there. Machinima is the name. It's the term for when you make an animation inside a video game, like Red vs. Blue. Um, but if you search VR chat music video, you can see people are making. I'm gonna turn this down because I don't know how loud it is. But when you're down, I'm around to sit still so you can rest upon my chest. But pretty cool stuff. Mostly just singing there. And yeah. Anyway, you can see stuff in there. VR chat's a great place because making stuff in Blender is difficult, especially if you're coming from not if you don't have as much experience with it. So I highly recommend leveraging platforms to give you something, give you a leg up, give you advantage. Actually, no, that one's fine. All right, combine these. Just not in my head in real life, baseball. Hey, no judgment here. All right, and look at that, under 5K. Under 5K for the amount of weapons we just made. Good shit. That's some good shit, y'all. 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 Oh. All right. Cool. Oops. Not quite look like this. Looks much more like obsidian. Needs to be metallic. Yeah, it looks good. I think we'll leave it just there. We'll leave it there. All right, man. Good work today, y'all. We got all the weapons finished. We got all the armor finished. The characters are rigged. They're face rigged. Yeah, good stuff. Cross that off my list, my to-do list here. W. Okay. What next? I don't know. I don't know what else to do next. Let's see how well these fit onto our characters. If any resizing is needed. That feels the right size. Yeah, I like that. Well, do you know anyone who doesn't 3D model animates, but like any type of anime type style thing? Give me. I think you'll might have a challenging time. finding someone that probably is perfectly suited to what you're looking for. But there are communities out there. There are the Blender artists communities. Um, you know, if you so if you search for like Blender artists, there's a whole forum or website for it on YouTube. I think they're their own site. Also about resizing, if I recall correctly, you can simply make snappers abbeys resize objects they hold. So the snappers set scale or something similar. Okay, very cool. Yes, yes, you can, because you can scale the snapper and it childs the snap target or childs the snapper to the snap target, and the snap target can be scaled up. That looks good. And let's look at the bow. But there are certainly a lot of people out there learning Blender. But if you're looking to make a music video, it might be a little bit more challenging to find someone who wants to invest that time, because that is a pretty significant amount of work. However, I don't want to dissuade you from looking for that, because I absolutely would want to encourage any sort of creative project. Cool. The dagger. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Those all look to be the right size. All right. So what to do now? Wait, you ever seen the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure intro from part 2, I think? Maybe. It's really hard for me to look back and remember what I watched in JoJo. I'm sure I've seen something. Let's see. JoJo part 2. The part where he looks up and screams with his arms up. I'm pretty sure I have seen this, because I always was thinking, like, it's interesting that they made 3D characters for the trailer. This one. Oh, that one's not. He didn't have his arms up, but I'm assuming that's the one you meant. It's possible to do that in Blender. That might have been Blender. Who knows? All right, let's start getting my characters into VR chat. Getting my goblin and my ogre, my ogre, my ogre, ogre. I will actually open Creator Companion. Itbia. We're shrinking. It's so tiny. I think I gotta make a new project. We're gonna do a new avatar project. Yeah, we'll say products 2024. I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head all day. Animal. No, you're fine. No need to apologize. And now that we've done that, install all this stuff. BRB sounds good. I'll probably be ending the stream in about 10 minutes. It is towards the end of my day. It's taking a while to load. Ah, empty project with nothing in it, requiring safe mode. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, I actually do not want to deal with that. Let's go open up our new SDK project. We'll go from there. All right, you know what? I might just end it here. It's 4:50. Only got 10 minutes left. Tomorrow I'm gonna get all my avatars packed up, the goblin and the ogre, put them up available for sale. I made a banana, nice. And tomorrow we'll get into Resonite all day, I think. Well, probably in the afternoon. I made a banana. Banana. Resonite hype. All day. Potentially. Potentially. Just the afternoon, probably. But yeah, it is time for me to call it. I need to go get some food, do some chores and stuff. And yeah, but we'll call here. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I'm gonna get on some serious stuff now. Hey, bananas are serious stuff. Have a good evening. Same to you, Wendy. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for the stream. Absolutely, JW. Hope you're all having an amazing, amazing Wednesday. Yesterday I thought it was Wednesday. And I was like, see you Thursday, everyone. But this now for real, see you Thursday. See you tomorrow. Thanks for stream and the help. Absolutely, absolutely. Catch you all tomorrow. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Bye. Bye.